having some issues because I moved around a whole bunch of stuff in my place today. Hey Max Power, happy to see you back. So far it looks like it's going to be a pretty good weekend here. I got myself some cigars. I'm going to be smoking some of those. And then I'm going over to my mother's house later on today to put together my sister's air conditioner that I bought for her. And then I'm going to come back here, play with Loki a little bit. He's walking away right now until I just made eye contact. And he's somewhere around here. There you go. Yeah. I drove to Best Buy today to get it because I accidentally forgot to buy it off of Amazon. I thought I actually purchased it, but apparently I did not. So I had to drive to Best Buy today to make sure my sister got her air conditioner. But everything's going good. Hey Mazar, hope you're doing well. Hey Haram, hope you guys are all doing well. Guys, the overall market, yes, we're in a downtrend, but we're not kind of out of this just yet. We are looking at maybe coming back down here to, at the worst, 25,315. But I do think if we start coming back down here below this zone, let me just kind of draw that for you right here. You know, you could imagine in between these two levels, I think we're going to be okay for a buying zone here. So I'm going to be watching it fairly closely. We did just have this death cross right here, and that's not a good sign. We've already been seeing what's happened since then, but the overall market is still doing just fine. Sure, Bitcoin's been coming down a little bit, but look at this daily chart right here. Now, let me actually drag this along very fast. Let's go over here. Look at the NASDAQ. This thing's been going up. Dow Jones, sideways, a little bit down, but nothing crazy. And the SPY just broke out yesterday, and we kind of went up a little bit higher today before we kind of had this little bit of a newsy event. So even the news events are still like battering us down here after the breakouts. But we just had the S&P and the NASDAQ both break out over the past few days. Now, Bitcoin is not symboling that, but there is still a chance for us to have a pretty vibrant move on the upside here. So if you guys are looking for some opportunities, wait a little bit, or even start to scale in today if you guys want to. We still haven't broken down below the support level, or I would say closed down below the support level of like 26,500, 26,555, whatever you want to call it. But guys, we're still looking okay. And it's been very weird to say that because, you know, I do like to trade options quite a bit. But look, you know, the NASDAQ is just booming right now. The Dow Jones still going sideways relative like this. Like, we're back to where we were back in Tuesday of August of 2022. That's the level we're currently at. You know, we were there at November 22, over here in February of 23. We just haven't been doing much as far as the NASDAQ. Sure, it's been bumpy, but we could still have another type of breakout movement here. Now, is the economy good? No, but the market keeps on going up, so we kind of have to play with it at this point. Same thing with the SPY here, just finally broke out. We're going to see how far we go, but there's an opportunity here for us to get just a little bit higher, maybe up to 430 or so. But this is just absolutely wild how the market continues to go up, even though we're having all this weird economic data come in, and the fear also coming in with the debt ceiling, which is, I guess, the first news topic of the day. But before we start going over some of those topics here, everybody, I'm going to start showing you guys like the heat maps of what happened today. I think it's just kind of nice to do a little bit of an update. And since I'm using the desktop mode here on TradingView, it's going to be fun. I am going to be doing the second part of the TradingView tutorial. That's going to come out Sunday. Then there should be another one coming out Monday or Tuesday. Then I'm trying to make it come like every 1 or 2 days. I just got busy yesterday, which is why I didn't stream. I don't know if you guys know much about dialysis, but dialysis pretty much has like a tube going into you so they can like transfuse your blood for you. Well, my mom accidentally popped hers out yesterday by just taking off some pants, and it kind of got caught on the pants, so she pulled out of her tube out of herself. So I had to go take her over to the hospital. And so I was gone for most of the day while they kind of just put it back in her. No emergency, nothing like that, but it is a surgical procedure, so I was not able to stream for you guys last night, so I apologize for that. But, you know, family stuff always comes first. However, we're going to be looking at some of these going forward, some heat maps as far as stock heat maps and the crypto heat maps. The crypto heat maps are kind of sucky, to be honest, because they go off of market cap, and we can move it by other stuff like volume, you know, but then Tether's up there. Maybe total value locked, but then it's a weird vibe I get from this one because everything usually follows Bitcoin. And if you guys go by market cap, which I kind of do like, you can go over here and select the different sources like crypto coins excluding Bitcoin, crypto coins excluding stable coins. That's kind of nice sometimes, but it's always coins DeFi tokens. There's a whole bunch of random stuff over here that you can mess with. I kind of like the crypto coins excluding Bitcoin or the crypto coins excluding stable coins. But I wanted to show you guys, just as a reminder, even though we have gone down over the past few weeks, you can see the Bitcoin's down, you can see Ethereum is down, you can even see a bunch of other stuff out there, like maybe Ape tokens down quite a bit, AXS, Bitcoin Cash, Matic, a lot of stuff is down. However, some of these big boys like Litecoin and not Litecoin, like Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're still up relatively well to start off the year. So for you guys, dollar cost averaging, you guys should still be in a decent spot. Maybe not as good as a spot as you want to because we have come down a little bit, but we're still doing okay. You got Bitcoin up 62% for the year so far, 51 for Ethereum, Litecoin at 29.30, Solana at 103, AD at 48, BNB at 25, Dogecoin up 4, Polygon up 14, XRP up 37. We're looking pretty darn good. You do have some things that have been losing so far, like Arbitrum looks like it's not doing so well. Ape token hasn't been doing so well. I don't know if you guys have been looking at ApeCoin. We just talked about that a few seconds ago, but this is one of those weird things where I'm not entirely sure why. Oh, sorry, I got a tweet message. You know, there are a few coins out there that maybe have a little bit too much meme hype up against them, so they haven't really been performing too well. Watch out for these ones, but if you guys believe in the ape culture and the ape meme coming back, you guys could always continue to dollar cost average, understanding this is going to give you some really good rewards. From the peaks we saw just a few weeks ago, ApeCoin has come back, or even months ago, it came down a maximum of 51, 52%. Now it's only down about 48%. It's come down quite a bit here. So hopefully we can make one gigantic higher low here. But if you guys are looking to buy into ape token, I'd really just wait for some opportunities we get a breakout there. Not entirely sure when that's going to happen because that seems this is a weekly chart and it's a while off, but people are still looking for those opportunities there. Let's go back over here to the 4-hour chart. And again, I know Bitcoin's been kind of having some issues over the past few weeks. We've talked about all this as far as death crosses and some of those momentum's kind of coming down. However, we still do have an opportunity to move up a little bit higher, and that's mostly for me just because of what we're seeing over in the stock market. I still believe the stock market is kind of what guides Bitcoin, even though it's kind of been going in the opposite way the past few days. I am hoping that next week we have an opportunity for Bitcoin to bounce back up, burn some shorts, and we kind of go on from there. But right now, everything is pretty much down just a teeny bit here, okay? And hey, Axel, happy to see you back, man. Thank you guys for giving all the likes and stuff for the streams. I do appreciate it quite a bit. Good to see you streaming. Hey, Christopher. Yeah, what do you call it? Yesterday was just some stuff with my mom, but I try to stream every day if I can. Sometimes I just get busy and life kind of hits me, so I'm just like, okay, I'll stream tomorrow. Like tomorrow, I don't know if I'm gonna stream tomorrow. I probably might stream tomorrow at night if I can. But tomorrow I'm gonna record a video, like they record me speaking, you know, doing the scripts and stuff. And then I'm also making a TradingView tutorial part 2, which covers the basic homepage and kind of all the features that TradingView has. And then I think Sunday I'm making another TradingView tutorial that kind of goes more in depth over the certain aspects of everything. So there'll be shorter videos for TradingView tutorials, and there'll be longer ones. Like the shorter one's going to be like how to use the crypto heat map on TradingView, how to use the stock heat map on TradingView, and then there'll be more advanced stuff like you know, how to use the charting software on TradingView. And then basically I tried to do a video like this over a few days ago, but I ended up just scrapping it after like an hour and a half. Like I was an hour and a half into teaching people how to use this, and I had barely gotten through the top layer and the left hand layer here, because there's a whole bunch of stuff on the right hand side of TradingView that nobody uses. These tutorials are going to get pretty darn deep in here, and so I'm just going to teach you guys like every single thing from the trash can button to the link button to, you know, hide all drawings, lock all drawings, stay in drawing mode, all types of stuff here. Then move up to the top, all that type of good stuff. Just so you guys have a clear idea of what all the cool parts of TradingView are. You guys can watch them. You guys don't have to. Some of you guys know most of this stuff. Some of you guys maybe just be looking to kind of take your trading to the next level as far as how to use TradingView. But some of you guys have been asking me for this for a while, so I thought I would do this. And I'm always kind of working on that longer term tutorial for you guys as well. That one's up to, I think, 15, 16 hours so far of recorded stuff. So that one's taking a lot of time though. That one's long as can be. But that one's going to have a lot of the same similar stuff in here. So in that longer tutorial, there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff about how to use TradingView and stuff, which will kind of be, you know, long, very, very long. Oh. Okay. Let's go back over here to the daily chart just for a second. Actually, which one did I want to show you here? Monthly chart. All right, and just so you guys are aware, we don't usually pay attention to the monthly moving averages. Maybe the 20, if anything, because usually that's like a nice little curl part. But on the monthly chart, we are showing some weakness, a little bit of a pullback after a great month back in March. We had a great month in January. February is just okay. Great month over here. Same thing as here. Just kind of had a little bit of a bouncy moment. Now we're starting to pull back a little bit. I'm hoping we don't continue to fall down, because I think if things don't find a way to balance out as far as crypto is concerned, we may have a really bad next month, or really bad into this month, which I don't want to see that happen, because we've actually had a really nice move since we had those lows back over here in December, November, off of the FTX kind of saga. I think we're getting closer and closer to kind of figuring out what's happening with Sam Bankman-Fried here, and then that's just going to be a blockbuster hearing where I think it's the hearing or the trial starts in October, fall time, sometime around there. Every single day for hours on end, I'm going to be tired, and we're going to be watching this trial together, and then I'll take breaks every now and again after the trial is over to take Loki out and stuff like that. But I'm assuming when they have their recesses and stuff, I'll be taking Loki out to use the bathroom and playing with him outside, because he always needs a couple hours of playtime outside every single day. Otherwise, he just starts chasing his tail for hours. I'm waiting for Cramer to say spread to fear and FUD so I can go all in. You know, he keeps on saying things are going to be fine, and so far things are going okay. Usually with Cramer, though, it's like you got to look at him like a month, and like it's like 2-3 months is where his forecasts get really nasty. Like if he says it's really good right now, that means 2 months from now it's going to be actually really bad. It's never the exact same time, so people have time to do that. But I mean, at this point in time, like, right, like look at this. Look at the monthly chart for the NASDAQ. Just look at that. Monthly chart for the NASDAQ, having a nice move. Now, we don't usually look at MACDs, I would say, for the monthly charts, but we're about to have a crossover at the end of this month for the NASDAQ. We're about to have a crossover there. That's going to look very nice. The Dow Jones, not going to be nearly as pretty, but we could have a crossover maybe if we have a breakout next month, because this month it doesn't look like we're going to have one. The SPY over here, just looking like we want to have another breakout here. Everything is gearing up for a really positive move. It's just so weird, because if you look at this right now, like again, we don't look at this too often. So this is monthly moving averages. So this is 2008 financial crisis. This crossover happened well after the big market move started to come down. People started to freak out. Go back over here to the dot-com bubble. It kind of happened more in the middle of it, right? Then we started coming back down a little bit more. This crossover is not even going to happen until maybe like October or so, which is kind of freaky if you think about it, because that means we may have a huge pump up, which would make the assets maybe even go up higher, Bitcoin to 30,000 or something crazy, and then we start having larger crashes. But I'm not really thinking about that so much now, just because the data still seems to be fine for now. Is it giving you red flags? Of course it is, but it's still going okay for now. Even with the NASDAQ, look at that monthly chart, look at that. That crossover is not going to happen until sometime in September, sometime in the fall. And that's kind of when we start looking at some of the Q2 data, stuff like that. But, you know, we're in a very weird spot, no matter how you look at it. Just a very weird spot. And I wonder if we're kind of being propped up, the stock market, from the AI prices, because, not AI prices, the AI kind of market boom, I guess you would say. Because basically what's happened is the market was kind of looking a little bit more iffy, but all of a sudden when all this AI stuff came in, everybody wanted to invest in Microsoft, Google, anything that has AI or talks about AI. The market is just buying tons of it up. And I think that's been a great blessing for the market, because that's kind of kept us afloat for a while. Now, will the money eventually get pulled out? Yes, but that's not the point. We've still had more opportunities to make some money, which is always a good sign going forward. And then I know some of you guys saw the news this morning. There was a few different things that happened. One thing that's kind of moderated itself out now. The first thing is Republicans walked out of talks with Democrats earlier this morning because they felt like they weren't, they weren't getting going anywhere. They felt going in circles, so to speak. CNBC has reported that now they're back to talking, which is a good sign for us. We don't want to see them not talk and engage. And the second thing here was, we have the G7 conference going on. And it seems like now America is going to be, we're okay with giving, we're okay with other countries giving our jets to Ukraine. There you go. That's a better way to say it. And we're going to be training their pilots and stuff like that. That's kind of an escalation of the war. That should maybe spice things up a little bit, because now they have jets. I doubt they're going to go into Russia, but who knows? That the war just looks like it's going to be more and more interesting. But I think it takes months and months and months for these guys to eventually get the jets and learn how to use them properly. So we'll see. But that's kind of spicing up the Ukraine-Russia war just a little bit. Really, what I wanted to talk about here is the G7 conference. This seems to be, all the big economies in the world kind of getting together, having some talks, having some margaritas and stuff. It seems like everybody is starting to try to move away from China, and I guess that we're putting more sanctions on Russia. I don't know what more sanctions we can do on Russia, to be frank with you guys, but basically, here's the big thing. The world is trying to figure out a way to not need to buy stuff from China. But as you guys know, that's a very difficult thing for them to to do, right? Because, you know, we've all been inside of a dollar store. I mean, it's been years since I was inside of one. I used to go to them all the time before going into movie theaters. That way you could, you know, take your Cracker Jacks and stuff in there. But, you know, we get so much stuff from China. And sometimes I think we forget just how much of the products that are in America come from China and just Asia in general. So if there was a war, you know, there'd be blockades, there'd be nothing would be going by ship, hardly anything would be going by air, it'd just be too chaotic. We get a lot of stuff from even Taiwan still. So if there is ever an escalation, the American economy, forget how bad the recession is going to be coming up, you know, next few months or weeks or whatever, quarters maybe at the most. That would just be catastrophic for the economy, but also China's economy, which hopefully will stop them from doing anything crazy as well. So just keep that in the back of your head. I don't think it's really too important for right now, but we are trying to find ways to get out of China as far as using them as a manufacturer base. We're going to try to go over to India, but I mean, come on guys, India likes China more than they like us. India still buys oil from Russia. India is not really from a geopolitical standpoint, it's not like they're our best friends or anything like that. So we'll have to see how this goes in the future. Now, this is what I just talked about a few seconds ago about the debt ceiling talks resume after Republicans took a brief pause. I was going to watch this video, but now that they're back, I don't think we have to watch it anymore. We should be fine as far as these talks are concerned. I guess if the debt ceiling is going to be breached in like a week and a half or something, I would have to assume that probably the negotiators, at least, they would probably have to be working over the weekend, right? That's like the logical thing to do, I would assume. Let's work through the weekend to make sure our country does not run out of money, because I think they said that the America only has like 100 billion or something, tens of maybe hundreds of billions of dollars left, and it's like in the checking account of the government. Maybe this is on a credit line, I don't know, but I don't think it's been this low in a very, very long time. So I think people are getting a little bit nervous, and I think as we get closer and closer, that means we can't be how do I say this, using up large sums of money if we actually do have like a literal hard cap of how much money we can use before the debt ceiling is breached. And hey, Discount Killer, happy to see you back, my man. What's right here? Boyle's been fun. Ooh, Larry, how has Boyle been doing? I bet it's been doing really well. You've been on this for a while now, so I'm hoping you've been making some good money off the natural gas. I'm long Tesla, hopefully 190s by June. Mike, do you play any meme coins? Not really. So it's mostly I don't have time to kind of watch and keep a lookout for meme coins. I see people talking about them all the time. I know people go over to that one website, Dex Tools. There you go. And I know you can look at a whole bunch of stuff over here, but I'm just not in tune with this. And, you know, part of it is I might if I wasn't doing YouTube. But part of me always wants to appear, you know, just appear at least like I'm not buying anything of this type. So I'm not, how do I say it? Like, there are tons of YouTubers out here who buy lots of these small market cap coins, and then they go start talking about them a little more on their channel, so people start buying them, and then the price gets inflated, and therefore the influencer can sell the tokens and make a decent profit off of it. I don't want to appear to be doing that, and so I just don't usually trade them. I did day trading on Pepe once it like broke like a $500 million market cap. That way I knew I wasn't going to manipulate the price, and I started covering it and talking about it. But you know, usually my response is always the same. It's like gambling, I guess you would say. And that's kind of my like formal position. So it's like, this is where you have fun with your money when it comes to cryptocurrency, but don't do any long-term investments, I would say. Now, As far as coins, I usually don't buy them just because of that. I try them out every now and again. Like the last time I bought a meme coin like this was like a year ago. Like say it was a while. And usually I do futures trading, so you can 1,000 Pepe or Pepe whatever, you get like 20x leverage, you play around with it and see where it goes. But most of the time, not really. I know Pepe's been the real big one here, but Pepe, I don't think Pepe's been doing so hot here. Let's go to the weekly chart. Let's go over to Pepe. Probably let's go to daily chart. We don't have enough data. Pepe's been coming down a little bit here. When you consider how much it's gone up, it's not really terrible. But so far, we're down about 66% since the high. So for the people that kind of bought up here, they're probably not too happy. But maybe for the people that bought way down here, they're still decent. This thing does look like it wants to fall off a cliff here, though. So be forewarned about that. But you're not talking about, oh yeah, you can see it riding down the 20. But you're not talking specifically about Pepe. Yeah, but I don't really trade them all too much nowadays, but I used to trade them for fun a lot more. It's kind of the same thing as over-the-counter plays. But yeah, if you have any questions on them, I can answer it. But I'm no expert on trading them, so to speak, because I think even BitBoy, I think he just unloaded a token that he was talking up a storm about. I think it was like Ben token or something, and Ben, I don't know what it was, but you know, I don't want to be that guy that's perceived to be making money off of pumping up a coin. So I try to make it neutral. My channel makes money through sponsorships. So, you know, Fair Desk Exchange, Chart Prime, who's a big sponsor. We got Whale Stream. Every now and again, like, you know, Manscaped from a year ago or something. I get like tons of those small sponsors. And then I make all money trading, obviously, so that doesn't really, the sponsors don't really make up that much, too much of that revenue. And then, I don't know, YouTube, I guess. I mean, YouTube only pays me like $1,000, $900. It's not like really a lot, livable wage off of YouTube. And affiliate links, I guess. You know, when you get sent up to a product, I usually get like a kickback for that. So if you guys buy something, I don't know what you guys would buy, but let's say you guys buy something for $20. I probably would make about, well, let's just say $10. I might make about $2 or $3 out of that. So it works itself out. But I think that's a better way to make money because everything is kind of like clear instead of going through the meme coin pumping scheme. And hey, Tony, I'm doing pretty well. A little bit busy, but it's been pretty good. I took Loki outside for a while. I put together, I bought my sister a new air conditioner. Went to Best Buy, bought some new shirts. I'm wearing the shirt now. It's literally just a pink and white striped shirt with like little palm trees on it, but it's a nice shirt. I just went shopping for clothes today and running a whole bunch of errands. Took Loki out to play. I pulled out a steak out of the freezer, so it's thawing out right now, so I can cook it on the not the grill, but on the oven in a little bit. It's gonna be tasty. I'm gonna cook it medium rare, and then smoke a cigar, and then no. I'm taking the steak and cigar over to my mother's place because I am putting together my sister's air conditioner, and I am not making chocolate fondue because they're doing that tomorrow, and I'm doing some other stuff. It's a really busy day, but I'm having a really good day though. Anytime I get out and do errands, I get in my car, I drive around, I just feel good about the day. It's nice to kind of go out and get some nice fresh air. I was trying to say, but then I just like coughed on myself. Let's see. Watching the Heat game, the Celtics came out hot to start. I mean, at least they're coming. At least it should be a close game. I don't even know if the Lakers are going to win this series. The Lakers looked like they were just ready to give up. And the Miami Heat, the first game, they came out to play too. So it could be a competitive game with the Celtics, which I would expect. The Heat and Celtics are pretty good. Really good. What's right here? Something about Google saying XRP is not available from the 13th of June, 2023. I mean, what would Google have to say about XRP? I'm not entirely sure. XRP bucks Bitcoin led slide in majors as SEC case tilts in Ripper's favor. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Gotta put my... There we go. So I had to move my keyboard away. I don't see any big news about Google and XRP at all. Flare integrates APIs for XRP Ledger, other blockchains on Google's cloud marketplace. If you find an article or the exact name of an article, let me know and I'll Google the article and I'm sure I could find it. But right now there's no really big news. And what's really bad here, guys, is Bitcoin is again just being very, very boring. We're going so sideways here. I'm expecting a large move eventually, but this has been one of those last few days. Nothing's been happening. It's been so weird to watch. But if you feel like there's some big news coming out, you can definitely buy some up. But just know that it's probably going to be a short-term spike unless Bitcoin follows it. As far as XRP, where is XRP in here? There it is. Let's go to the daily. So it looked like it already had its breakout. It already had its pump up a while ago here. It's currently testing out some resistance as well as the 50-day moving average. If you wanted to buy in here, you could, but you might want to look for a little bit more of a pullback because this has already had a great rally. Yeah, bouncing off both the Fibonacci levels and the 200 daily moving average. This has come back down a lot and it kind of hit some of those golden zones there. If you wanted to buy, I would just maybe have a stop loss somewhere around the 20-day moving average, or maybe just around 44. Let's just call it 44 cents, maybe 44.5 cents if you want to take a little bit of extra. But at this point, it's kind of already had a pretty decent pump. This pump was from what? Let's just go from here to here. Yeah, about a 14-15% pump. That's a really good one right there. Now it's only up around 11.5. So you could try to buy some up here, maybe hoping for some type of another breakout. Usually though, when I see stuff like this, I kind of just wait for it to break down and then you try to gobble up some down here, then boom, hope for that next breakout. On the 4-hour chart, you are seeing a little bit of a not death cross, but a little bit of a crossover. Nothing too crazy right now. That's maybe a little bit bearish, but nothing bad. You can see a little bit of a crossover that happened right here, and that didn't really amount to anything. Mostly because a whale came in here, you know, big volume, and poof, you know, the technicals changed up in a hurry. You're normally looking for a gradual one like that. It says, hey, something good could be happening, even though it barely happened. Bouncing off the 200 weekly, excuse me, the 20 weekly as well. 200's all the way up here. You know, if you want to buy and have a target, I would say probably 49 to 50 cents is going to be fine. But this is going to be a short term, maybe 3 to 4 day type of hold. If you want to do it, I'd personally just be waiting for it to break down a little bit, but I'm pretty cautious about these type of plays. I would have hoped to get into it kind of around here after that first big boom. That consolidation period is usually where I like to buy, but I mean, you can see how there's some big pops, some big drops. There's definitely some volatile plays here, so caution, but it can definitely be a good play for you if Bitcoin goes your way as well. There we go. Waiting for Bitcoin margin call disaster to happen again, like when Bitcoin went from 51, 52 to 39, 41. See, I wonder who's going to make that move, though. And at this point, like, I can definitely see something like that happen, but I just don't know when. Because I'm still bearish on the entire market up until maybe sometime next year, when I feel like we'll get out of this kind of economic haze and everything will be like full steam ahead. But like, it's just been taking so long because all these weird things keep happening. Like, everybody out there, we all know the economy is in really bad shape. Like, if we go over here and poll, how is economy? I didn't type that in right, but that's okay. Let's go to news. Do we have anything? Okay, PBS. Oh, this is debt limit stuff. This is Gallup News, I guess. We'll look at Gallup, CNN, and then Fox. Americans lack confidence in major economic leaders. Oh, well, why would that be? Okay. But let's just kind of go over some of the stats here. This is from Gallup. I don't look at Gallup, so I don't really know much about them, but I hear them referenced a lot, so maybe. Mostly they're Gallup polls, I guess is what it is. Confidence in the United States economic leaders. As I read some names and groups, please tell me how. Oh, this is the question they asked the people, the people getting polled. Excuse me. As I read some names and groups, please tell me how much confidence you have in each to do or to recommend the right thing for the economy. A great deal, a fair amount, or a little or almost none. So President Joe Biden, 10% say that he has a great deal. See, you have a great deal of confidence in him. So 10%, 25% say a fair amount, 16% say only a little, and 48% say almost none. So 48% of people say they don't have almost no faith in him to do run the economy well, basically. If you add that with the 16% of only a little, that means that what are those two numbers add up to? 58, 64. Yes, 64 maybe. There's like 64% of people saying, "Hey, we have only a little or almost no faith in Joe Biden to recommend the right thing for the economy." Recommend the right thing for the economy. It's kind of a weird question to ask. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, 9% have no opinion, 28% say almost none, 26% say only a little, 32% say fair amount, and 4% say a great deal. Janet Yellen, hers is more unfavorable than Jerome Powell. That's interesting. So 6% say a great deal, 31% say a fair amount, 23% say only a little, and 31% say almost none, and the 9% having no opinion. I think those 9% really just have no idea who those people are, because unless you're in our world, people just don't know who they are. It's typical not to know who the Treasury Secretary is, unless there's something bad going on. That's why people didn't know much about who Pete Buttigieg was until the supply chain issues were going on. Democratic leaders in Congress, 7% have a great deal of faith in them to do the right thing for the economy, recommend the right thing, 27% say they recommend that they can do the right thing for the economy, 24% only a little bit, and 41% say almost none. Then you go to Republican leaders in Congress. So these are Democratic leaders and Republican leaders. So I guess Democratic leaders would be Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, and Schumer. Republicans, I guess, would be something more of McCarthy, Mitch McConnell, and the other leaders of the Republicans, I guess. So 7% the same as in Democrats, say great deal. 31% say fair amount, which is more than the Democrats by 4 points. Only a little, 28, which is, I guess, 4 points more than, than Democrats. And then almost none, only those, 28. Almost none is 33, which is, oh wow, that's like 9 points or something like that. 8 points, eight points, yeah. 8 points below the Democrats. That's good for Republicans. So Republicans seem to have a good thing going on right now, but I'm guessing that's just because Democrats technically have been running the economy for the past few years, and so when anything goes bad during their watch, this is Republican, Democrat, usually the party in power gets blamed. But you guys can see that, the people aren't happy. Let's see. Change. So Jerome Powell, the change for him is down 7 points. Joe Biden is down 5. Democratic leaders in Congress are down 2, and Republican leaders down 2. Democrats down 4, and Republicans down 2. So everybody's taking a hit off of this. Everybody's taking a hit. Federal confidence in the Federal Reserve Chair to do the right thing for the United States economy. Recommend. Let's see. Hold on. I want to show you guys this. Can you guys see this? Okay. So this is Greenspan coming down. 2006. Ben Bernanke, Janet Yellen, then Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell was high during COVID, and now he's come back down to the moderate levels. So that is interesting. Confidence in the congressional party leaders to recommend the right thing for the U.S. economy. 2001, everything was good. Things were okay, kind of like balancing out a little bit. 2014, that was not good for Republicans. Democrats, I guess everything went down. 2013 was very good for Democrats. And I guess 2021, very good for Democrats. That was stimulus check time. Everybody wants the stimulus checks. And then now, I guess, Republicans took the lead back again. So normally Democrats kind of lead this poll here a little bit. And I'm guessing during most of this time, it was Nancy Pelosi. And during the majority of the other time, I guess there was multiple people. Was Paul Ryan, the guy that cried a lot? I forget his name. And now we got Kevin McCarthy. So we're seeing kind of seeing some stuff happen here. Democrats more confident in leaders. Oh yeah, definitely Democrats are more confident. So independents, only 31% of independents would say that Joe Biden would be doing good. 32 for Powell, 36 for Janet Yellen, 28 for Democratic leaders, and 31 for Republicans in Congress. So even independents are kind of like, they kind of don't know. Even independents seem to be pissed off at everybody. Can you blame them? And then Republicans, of course, trust Republicans. Democrats don't trust Republicans. Democrats trust Democrats, and Republicans don't trust Democrats. I mean, you know, we're as partisan as ever in this country. Okay, that was one thing there. Let's go back over here very fast. This is a Fox News poll, but this is from 3 weeks ago. So, condition of the economy is excellent, good, 21%. Oh, only fair or poor, that's 78%. March 2023, 77. Yeah, so what do you call, people are more and more feeling like the economy is not as good for them. At least it's up a little bit from January, at least. So we're kind of in this little haze here. It feels like, for your family, it feels like the economy is getting better. Now 23%, getting worse, 70%. Oh, shit. So I guess 70% say the economy is getting worse for them, for the family, I guess you would say. 40% say Biden's action on inflation are hurting versus helping. So most people say it's hurting, but there's a large portion that says 36 said no difference. But it's, let's see, yeah. But hurting went up a little bit. That's better for him. I guess no difference is up a little bit too. This is, yeah, huh. Okay, we don't need to go into the CNN poll then, because that kind of illustrates what we were talking about. But yeah, it's just, the economy sucks. We call it kind of, the majority of the country seems to understand that, but we all haven't pulled back on our spending. And I think that's fair, I guess. People, how do I say this? There's a whole generation of people that have come up after the 2008 financial crisis, and we don't exactly know what it feels like to not be able to get a job. I think some of the things that we've talked about over the past few years, as far as different types of how people spend their money a little bit differently and things like that. I grew up during the financial crisis. In 2008, I was in seventh or eighth grade, so I was younger. So, you know, a while ago, right? It's over 10 years old. Oh my gosh, it's like 15 years old now. So there are a whole bunch of people that grew up like I did, but we don't know what it's like to have all these expenses and then not have a job to pay for them. And so I think that's why people keep on putting stuff on their credit cards, and you see the credit card debt for individuals keeps on going sky high. We're breaking new all-time records. I just don't think we've ever had that thought like, hey, if I get laid off, what do I do? And like, oh, there's no other job that pays as much as I need to. You might get stuck for a while. And for the people that had gotten laid off, maybe in COVID, if you think about it, the government increased unemployment checks by $600 a week, I believe. That's not going to happen this time. So if it doesn't happen this time, I think people are kind of having this false sense of security. But it's bad, but my main concern is like what happens to those people if they really realize that, oh my gosh, I don't actually have money to do this type of stuff. Like if I were, I can't lose a job because I don't technically have a job like some people. You know, but if a person that is paying for a $2,000 or $3,000 apartment in downtown because they're millennial, they got that good job at downtown corporate world. If they lose their job, how many months can they afford to pay for a $2,000 apartment? Along with your food, which is kind of expensive, going out, which is expensive, doing that same lifestyle. How much could they do realistically? Not everybody has those savings. They might have to dip into their retirement accounts and stuff, and that's how drastic it might have to get at certain points. Or they just get out of the lease and say, hey, I'm moving out, forget the lease, and then they try to go move back into their parents. Going back into more of the, I guess you call it the Asian Confucian society, or maybe even Indian to do it well. But you have like multi-generations living in the same household. One of my friends is from Korea, and he swears it's like the best thing to do, because you keep all your wealth inside the house. And then when you're ready to go buy a house, you can freely do it, but you might be doing it in your 30s. I need my free space. I need my space. But Larry, I would love to see a big drop like that. I have no idea what's going to happen. I thought we were going to be looking at a much different quarter two. I guess quarter two is fine, but quarter three, I thought it would be much more pessimistic. Right now, quarter three still seems to be like okay at this point going forward of like where we might be headed. And A. Smith, yeah, that makes sense as far as the Republican stuff, because it seems like they're already back to doing meetings. It was like in the morning, leave at night, we're starting to work again. I don't know. It just seems like dramatic effect. And hey, Discount, again, happy to see you back. And hey, Chef, hope you're doing well. Seen lots of drama about the immigrants leaving Florida due to its new laws, and a lot of jobs were deserted, like farm work, construction. Yeah, I've been hearing about this, especially I've been looking at it on TikTok a little bit. There are a lot of jobs that, I won't say Native Americans, but not Native, illegal immigrants, immigrants that come over here without a visa, asylum seekers, whatever you want to call them. There are a lot of jobs that they will do that other people just don't want to do because the pay doesn't work too well, etc. And they're just, it's freaking hard conditions. Well, I believe what the new bill does is it makes all of those, all the businesses in Florida have to go through the E-Verify system, which E-Verify basically means they're verifying your social security, which means you have the right to work in America. So because of that new law, I think a lot of immigrants were scared and they just like quit their jobs, or the farmers had to fire them because they couldn't prove that they were working there, and so they're all going to go to other places because I don't know how many people really want to pick oranges from trees or pick strawberries from the farms. I just don't know how many people really want to do that. I would assume it's not too many. I remember, so you guys know I grew up pretty poor, and that kind of extended until I was in college. So I was always looking for any work, and I didn't mind working for $8 an hour at the bowling alley or $10 an hour at Macy's. I didn't mind doing it because freaking you got to grind in life sometimes so you can have a little bit more prosperous life down the road. But I once did some work for the government. It was like manual labor harvesting canola seeds. So I think they were canola seeds. So like they're the seeds that grow in these leaves and they dry out. And then once they're dried, you pick them up with your gloves, or you pick them up with a pitchfork, and you toss them into this machine that separates the seeds from all the plastic, or not the plastic, but all the leaves and stuff, right? The dried leaves. And so during that job, I was with a whole bunch of immigrants. I was getting paid a decent amount per an hour. That's why I did the job. But I had to get my boots on. There was rattlesnakes out there, and I was like, holy crap, like who wants to do this? Well, all these immigrants wanted to do it. I was an immigrant with them in Montana. And I was just absolutely astounded by like how shitty the work was, but the pay was actually pretty good. But it was really, really shitty work. It was in the field in the middle of nowhere. And the guy that owned the land that the government was leasing, he came over in the middle of it, and he introduced himself, and he gave us some paperwork. Says, hey, if any of you guys want to help sort and pick potatoes, I pay $9 an hour. It's hard work, but it pays. And so like a lot of those guys ended up working at the potato farm. And I was just like, I can never do that because my back would never. I'm overweight. I could never. It's hot days. It's toiling. It's horrible. But you know what? If that guy didn't have the immigrants doing the work for him, I'm not entirely sure how many people would actually go out there and do that type of work. So does that mean because there's less people doing that type of work, does that mean innovation will bring up newer and better types of farm equipment to do all that work for them? Or, maybe that comes down the road. But in the short term, does that mean that strawberries get more expensive in Florida or oranges get more expensive in Florida? I honestly have no idea. I'm not an economist in that sense, but I would assume some things are going to get more expensive. And if things do start to get more expensive and people start to get a little bit more irritated, maybe that hurts Ron DeSantis, perhaps. But I haven't had a chance to really look too deep into some of those laws that are being made down there because I'm literally on the whole other side of the country over in Washington State. I would assume it makes things more expensive because all of a sudden there's going to be less supply because there's just not enough people to do the jobs. I can only imagine a whole bunch of like, how do I explain it? You might have people out there still working, but I doubt they're going to be as, not sophisticated. What's the word I'm looking for here? not as productive. So maybe a Hispanic immigrant that barely speaks English, maybe he can pick 200 oranges in an hour, and I don't know anything about oranges or how fast he picked them up, but I might see a regular Joe that's just trying to learn how to do it. He might be picking something like 50 or 75 or 100 oranges an hour, like half or maybe less than half, and that's where the problem is going to lie. And instead of having 200 people picking those oranges at 200 oranges per an hour, you're probably going to have 50 to 100 people picking oranges at 50 per an hour or 100 an hour. It's going to be, the productivity is just going to slide. But I have no idea of what's really happening down there. But that's what I would assume is going to happen. So I don't think it was the right move to do. Like, usually in those circumstances, I defer to the farmers. And the farmers, I know from looking on the news, don't like it. But again, there might be farmers that do like it. So I can't always trust the news. But you get my point. It does look like it's probably not going to be a good thing. But I honestly, I don't know if we've seen this happen anywhere else in the country before. As far as like a statewide type of thing. I may be wrong, but I'm not in the agriculture sector. The closest I get to agriculture is maybe going to a vineyard every now and again, getting some wine. I haven't done that since before COVID. But let me know if you find anything else about it, Chef, because I do think it's very interesting to kind of observe and see what happens. I just don't think it's going to be necessarily a good thing, because I don't think those are normally the jobs that people are really looking for, maybe there are people that really just want to do that job, but I feel like if you're doing that job, it's because you have literally nothing else you can do. You've tried to find alternative jobs, and it's not working out. So while you have to put money on the food on the table, you're gonna go do this hard work until you can get yourself into a better situation. That's kind of that job, in my opinion, the reason you're doing it. But people can humble themselves to do those types of jobs. Like personally, myself, I don't think I've ever had to humble myself for a job before, because it's not necessarily about pay. It's about the job. Like, I can never see myself working at McDonald's, because not so much that it's McDonald's, but I know I would have to deal with a lot of people every day, and most people are not nice people. If you ever worked in retail, there are tons of nice people out there, but there are just a lot of nasty people out there, and just like Loki, if you're nice to us, we're nice to you again. But if you're starting to be an asshole, I just have no filter, and I'll just be like, go fuck yourself. Speak to your manager, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, go for it, man. Like once I was in Montana, and I worked at this one place called I was working in Macy's, actually, Macy's. But there's this really good restaurant in Macy's. I'll show it to you guys, so you guys can see part of my life here. Bozeman, Montana. All right, so they have a mall off the main street here. Oh, okay, right here, Gallatin Valley Mall. So you see this Macy's right here? Okay. So most days I'd be working at Macy's, and during my lunch breaks, I might walk over here. Well, I guess most days I'd actually bring a lunch sandwich because it was cheaper than buying lunch. But there was a famous Wok Chinese place over here that I used to go get my food all the time. Or I'd come over here to the Bay Bar and Grill, and they'd give me nice discounts because I gave them discounts when they went over to Macy's and buy stuff. Okay, so you see this restaurant right here? Yeah, the Bay. It's nothing fancy, little restaurant in here, but within the restaurant they have a casino. So if I go in here with the pictures, that's the bar. Maybe they might have a picture of the casino. No, they don't. Okay. Well, there's a casino in the back of this bar, and it's a very nice little cozy casino. And I used to know the owners and stuff like that quite a bit. So one day I was working at Macy's, and I basically was helping this lady out, and it was my lunch break. And I was like, oh, lady, I'm so sorry. I got to go take my lunch break. This lady will assist you. And she was like, okay, perfectly fine. And I guess she didn't like the lady that was helping her out after I left. And so she followed me in here when I was getting my lunch. And she was like, you got to come inside and help me out because I need your help now. And I was like, lady, I'm on my lunch break, right? And she followed me in. She was nagging me until I cussed her out. And then she went to my store to complain to my manager. And then my manager was waiting for me when I got back after my lunch break. And she asked me if all I said that was true, and I was like, yeah, I felt like I was in danger because she was stalking me, and I was just like, oh, and so my manager was like, oh, okay. And my manager took my side, but she wasn't happy about taking my side. The few times I worked, well, not a few times, but when I worked at Macy's, I had a few run-ins with HR, because HR was not a corporately, HR was very corporate friendly. They weren't necessarily like employee friendly. So I would always take any type of grievance I had with my manager or anybody straight to HR, and I was like, hey, I want this. Hey, they're annoying me. Hey, they're annoying me. Hey, this is not part of my contract. What do you call? I can be a horrible employee, to be frank with you guys. But I'm always doing what I'm required to do and what I'm paid to do. Nothing more, nothing less. Oh boy, yeah, that lady got an earful. She was not happy with me, but I don't care because, again, don't interrupt me while I'm eating my lunch. I like lunch. Lunch is one of my most important meals of the day because I often skip breakfast. For breakfast, I might just have like a small bowl of oatmeal and an apple. But for lunch, I might get a sandwich and a bag of chips, and you know, yeah, that's tastier than oatmeal. So don't tick me off when I'm on my lunch break. Now I don't have now I don't have lunch breaks. I just kind of eat when I want to, which is nice. Or I guess I take breaks when I want to. Did I have lunch? I did not. No, I had beef jerky for lunch today. I totally forgot to have lunch today. Ouch. Well, I'm having steak for dinner. That's a good thing. Oh, excuse me. Thoughts on Matic today? Oh, it's your new buying zone. Oh, what the heck is all this? I feel like I accidentally drew on this when I wasn't supposed to. Okay. Oh, that's a 200 weekly moving average. That's why it's freaking me out. Okay. Well, at this point, it's had a pretty good buying opportunity here. If you've been following this for the past few months, it looks like we're kind of just right there bouncing. The bouncing level was kind of around 83 cents. Now we're around 86.5 cents. Let's go back over here to the daily chart. Yeah, we're kind of at that buying level right now. If you wanted to wait for this to maybe buy a little bit with a little bit more confidence, I would say you might just wait for it to break above that 20-day moving average. But I would still say right now, if you're looking for a position that's in the spot market, not in the leverage market, I would be okay starting to do some type of entry position, maybe buying under 87 cents or so, 87 to 84.5. That type of zone would be good. Or you could just wait for us to break above the 20. I'd kind of be waiting for that just because I'm more cautious about where Bitcoin is, because Bitcoin's also kind of at this support level too. However, if you go back over here to the daily chart, you can see we just had that death cross with the 50 over the 200. We usually don't have that happen though. I mean, when's the last time the 50 crossed down below the 200 here? I mean, yeah, it was way back over here. So it doesn't happen too often. I'm not saying this drop is like what we're going to see right here, not at all. But it might be kind of in a nasty little attitude, a nasty little sideways move before it ends up breaking up. Because the overall market's still been doing good, you still have an opportunity to buy down here, wait for that pump, and at least try to make its way back up here to this support level. You can even see this go all the way over there. And that's kind of around 95, 96 cents. That's about a 10 cents per coin gain, and that's pretty darn solid, I would say. Now, as far as long, that's about like 12% or so. As far as what's going to happen down the road, I'd probably assume even after this little bit of a bump, it might make some type of lower high in this type of structure. And then from there, we do eventually break down from this, and we probably plummet back down to the low 70-cent range, something like that. You know, that's, yeah, 69 cents is right down here, but we got 75 over here, somewhere in that kind of range. That's where I'd look for the big next buying opportunity if you don't want to buy right here. After that, though, I mean, let's go to the weekly chart. This thing, it did definitely plummet quite a bit last cycle, but usually when it broke down, no, not always. You know, usually we found some type of support. This one over here, we just kind of flat out capitulated really quickly. But I'm thinking this is because we had the Celsius exchange go down during that time frame, and I think that's what kind of forced Matic or Polygon to really go out. So if we start breaking down again, I'm hoping that we just at most come back down here to the 35s, which is still pretty drastic. That's over 50% from where we are now. But in the meantime, I think we may just come back down to the low 70s or at the worst low 60s here. If we go into recession, then you might see us come back down below 28 cents. But at this point, we're not even close to that one. And then you can kind of see this little bit of a bullhorn opening up. Hopefully, we have an opportunity to break out of that. But short term, watch those moving averages, and you can see on the weekly chart right here, maybe you have an opportunity for a breakout. Let's just go to the daily chart here. you know, we have a chance for a breakout to happen sometime in June 6th or so. You know, kind of around the time for maybe another rate hike decision, but you'd want to see us go sideways from here and not down. So if you just wanted to buy and wait, you could. That stop loss though would probably just be around 81, 82 cents. So, you know, pretty close to where we are now. I'm gonna put the 4-hour Bitcoin chart in here because the 15-minute chart, just look how sideways we've been going here. I mean, we've had some ups and downs, but the last few days have just been completely sideways, and I don't know why. I mean, nobody's really buying. Everybody's just waiting to see. Everybody's already taking their bets. Are we going up or down? The bets have been taken. Now it's just kind of a waiting game. Oh, sorry, boy. Did I run over your tail or something? I moved my chair just a little bit, and Loki popped up his head, so I'm making sure he's okay. He's tired. Oh, your head's wet. Yeah, playing in the water. Yeah. Yeah, he's all zened out. And see, Nico. Boyle capitulated 2 weeks ago at 190s low nat gas. 260 Boyle, we broke out challenge in the $4 level today. 399 now retracing at the bottom of challenge. Short squeeze 300 million sold. Oh, that's pretty nice then. Okay, well I'm glad Boyle ended up working out for you because we've been talking about that for a while, and I was kind of cautious about it, but like well, I was thinking probably more scaling out, I think, and not buying in, but at once. But it seems like the natural gas did have a really good rebound. Natural gas, I guess we knew it would go back up, but man, natural gas, if you just kind of zoom out that chart, you know how crazy crazy it looks. And hey, Mattis, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I don't really have an agenda here. I don't even think my ADHD would allow me to have an agenda. Like, my goal here is to help educate, make money, because I do make money. I guess just, you know, traditional sense of what YouTubers make money. And then, I don't know, you know, make tutorials. I enjoy making tutorials most of all. And now I'm starting to enjoy these other type of videos once I figure out how to get them to be seen by larger audiences. But, I don't know, it's nice. And I don't feel as stressed out about the channel as I once did. Now I'm just more like, hey, it's fun, it's nice, I can do it, I don't have to stress out about it. And then I work on that course when I can. I was getting stressed out about that course, so I backed off of it a little bit. Now I'm kind of going back in a few hours every week because it's just so freaking damn long. So what do they call? But yeah, agendas are kind of weird to have because, you know, so I have very high anxiety. I get stressed out quite a bit just about life stuff, you know, family, drama, health for my mother and stuff like that. Taking care of my sister every now and again. Got Loki, but Loki's a stress reliever. One of the things I noticed is when you try to get out of like your comfort zone as far as YouTube, and by this I mean like putting on a fake persona or something like that, you can, a lot of times it just adds more stress because you have to kind of think of what that fake person would do. And I don't like that. And I guess I've never really tried to stray too far away from who I am, but there are some times when I'm just like, okay, let's talk about this, and this today. You might not like this to talk about this, but people, it may help with the video on SEO or something, you know? But yeah, I mean, it's less stressful, I would say. The one thing I am trying to work on right now, which is a little bit outside my bubble, which is a little more stressful, is try to go on more people's podcasts and their shows and stuff. I wanted to do a couple of shows this month, but the people I was doing it with, like they're not reliable in the messaging department. I don't know. It's like I come from the corporate world after coming from the ghetto world, so like I like people messaging back promptly. I like being able to stay in the loop so I can actually plan accordingly. But when people don't message me back and like within a few days, and I think a few days is giving a lot of time for somebody to message back, I really give up like even just trying to like be on their channel or having them on my channel. And so I haven't had to found the right character. But maybe I'll just ask Tom if I could go on his show. He can come on mine very fast. We don't normally talk video wise unless it's on Discord with a few other people. I might have to ask him about it. Normally we talk about a whole bunch of other random stuff. You know, like am I going to Bitcoin Miami? Is he going to Bitcoin Miami? Are there any events out in California one of us might want to go out to? That's what we've been talking about normally. But I don't even think either of us are going to Bitcoin Miami. I think Tom said he might if somebody pays for a trip, but I don't know how big. I think Bitcoin Miami is going to be pretty big, but nah, I don't want to go all the way across the country. You hated working in retail. I went back to the warehouse life. Far better, plus the pay is better, even to double the hours. Yeah, I mean, what do you call it? There's always lots of warehouse work, and yeah, retail, I just can't deal with people. Some people are really good people. Some people are a people person. I cannot be that way. Like, there was a lady when I went to go get my shirt today from DXL. A really nice lady. Her coworker was late by like 40 minutes or an hour, so she was managing this whole retail store, which isn't massive, but it's pretty darn big. It's not like a department store, but it's a clothing store. Where normally they have 3 people working there because it does get pretty busy. Because it's like the only place for larger people to get really good quality clothes. So if you don't want to go, how do I say this? Like most of the shirts that I go get there, they have a quality, like they're $55 and up type of shirts, but they also do have shirts where if you buy 2 of them, I think they're $30 or something. But this lady was stressing out working there by herself, and I was like, hey, don't even stress. Like, don't even try to stress about this. You're not getting paid enough to stress. She was like, yeah, you're right, I'm not. Relax, you're fine, just relax a little bit. In retail, I used to get stressed out every now and again until I realized, like, you know what? I don't actually care. I don't care. This is just one thing I'm doing to step up life. Keep it in perspective. There's going to be a job where you have to care. Maybe you're a lawyer, or maybe you're a consultant or something where you have to really care about the person you're servicing. Retail, it's not it. It's not it. Be nice, be courteous, but don't go over the top unless you really feel like it or you get some type of joy out of it. I don't. I don't. I've had too many bad experiences by doing the extra mile and like, no, not at all. And always just happy to help you out. Look at Dogecoin. Yeah, let's take a peek here. So Dogecoin, this is the 4-hour chart. Here's the daily chart. I mean, let's go to the weekly chart actually. Dogecoin, again, has been this weird thing because all we're talking about these days is what Elon Musk is planning to do with it. And we still haven't gone back in a pure positive momentum. We haven't been above the 0 line here for Dogecoin since December of 2021. Okay, okay. Hold on a second here, guys. Loki is just being the biggest baby. Oh, yeah, okay. Come here. Come here. He just wants to play for a second, but he's not going to take no for an answer. Or he would, but I just can't say no to him. Come up here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah, okay. You guys might hear his little lip smacking. Yeah. Come here. Oh, he doesn't want to climb through the front. He wants to climb to the side. Yeah. Okay, I love you too. Okay, sorry about that. So as far as Dogecoin's concerned, you can see on the, let me zoom in here actually so you can see what I'm talking about. We had this golden cross here on Dogecoin back over here when the 20-week crossed over the 50-week. I was hoping we might get a little bit of a positive move after that, especially because what happened afterwards. We kind of had this smaller breakout right there. Nothing ever happened to it. Nothing. And this is back when, right around this time, actually, altcoins all started to kind of drop off. We saw Bitcoin still gaining dominance, and it was really, really irritating to watch. But right now, it's kind of almost moved to this, which kind of sucks in some respects. So here we go. I don't even know how you want to look at this. There you go. So that's kind of the general shape I'm watching for right now. I'm hoping we have an opportunity to break out, but this breakout wouldn't happen for like over a month or so. So I still think if you're looking to get into Dogecoin right now, it's still more of a dollar cost averaging move. You're just adding little bits and pieces, but there's no real reason to go long in a heavy capacity just yet. In the short term here, looking at this 4-hour chart, don't know the best way to show you guys this, but so I got this new like plasma wire thing for my microphone, and it's like long, and I haven't found a good way to maneuver it around my desk. So anytime Loki goes around the desk, he's like dragging along, and he freaks out when a wire gets under his belly. He freaks. But yeah, as far as Dogecoin's concerned, we're kind of having this higher low situation. Don't forget about it going through the line here. You get what I'm trying to say. We have had a short-term reversal. It looks like we're probably going to be breaking down here pretty soon. However, now let me make this move right here. Let's move this maybe over here just a little bit. You might have an opportunity to buy right there. I'm just so skeptical of this right now because the overall market, go back to Bitcoin very fast, we're kind of hovering on the edge right now of breaking down and actually having a full day of closing. If you believe that Bitcoin can actually have a larger move in the next few days, which seems possible, hopefully because the stock market is doing okay, you'd be looking to buy Dogecoin right now and having a limit, a target price up here of around 0.081, which is, you know, not a full penny, but I don't think many people can expect a full penny move from Dogecoin these days. That's a solid 11%. I'd be looking to do that. Now, if you're looking to have that stop loss, though, it probably is just going to be around here about 0.069. Let's go back over here for a second. This has been, I don't know how to describe it. Because of everything that Elon Musk can do to this token, it's really just trashed up the technicals, and I mean really trashed them up. We had a few solid bounces here after we had those highs. This is a weekly chart again. A bounce right there, really bouncing off the 20 week. No rejection there. Kind of held there for a little bit before breaking down. Hit here. Not a little bit of support maybe here. You know, it hasn't been the best. If we go over here to the 4-hour chart, maybe we can see things a little bit more detail. Yeah, a little bit of support right there. A little bit broke down to that weakness here. You know, maybe we go back up in the short term, maybe to 0.076, but even the higher end here, maybe we go back up to again to the 8 cent mark. But there isn't really a huge setup here that looks really, really great at this point. Normally with Dogecoin, you're just kind of buying and waiting for a larger move when it comes to Elon Musk, or you're buying when Bitcoin is just having the shittiest of days. And that's usually where I like to buy Dogecoin, when Bitcoin's kind of the greed is going all the way down to fear. That's usually the best time to buy Dogecoin. But we're at the lower part of a swing, so we could probably get back up to 8 cents, maybe even higher. But at this point here, let me show you something. What's the best way to do this? Maybe the trend-based fibs. Yeah, if this is the bottom, you have one level of resistance up here by 0.718, which goes back to the other Fibonacci level we saw, or up here towards 0.84, which is a little bit higher than that resistance level I just showed you guys right there. So maybe it makes its way back up. That daily chart, though, you're looking at a... already had both death crosses there. This is almost like Polygon. I might try to wait for us just to break back above that 20 here. But if you wanted to buy stop loss around, just call it 7 cents, scale in about 30% of your how much you want to put in there each day starting today. So 30% today, 30% Saturday, 30% Sunday. The last 10% is a give or take. You could decide to put it in there or not. Sometimes people don't want to do it if it's already on the move, or sometimes people don't want to do it if it's already coming back down too much. That's up to you. But 30, 30, 30, or if you just know you're going to put it in there, 33, 33, 33, and then play it up. Probably looking to hold this at the latest until next weekend. But if there's a big bump in there, you could scale it as needed. That's the way I'd be playing it right now, and just have that hard stop loss there of around 0.697 cents. Not going to be too difficult there. Make sure the RSI is low when you buy it. Hopefully you can get a nice little oversold level. RSI may be low on the 4-hour to the 1-hour charts. That'd be decent enough. That way you could feel good after it kind of builds back up, that you're not like, you know, on your stomach's not hitting the butterflies as you kind of wait for it to bounce. And hey, Mattis, most YouTubers are salesmen. If you ever need help, let me know. I will do it for free, brother. Hey, Mattis, I appreciate that. I think, I don't know if you've emailed me before, but I know I'm working for an editor now, but what do you call? I could always probably use somebody for my second channel, because I need to start making more content for that. Excuse me. Because what do you call? I don't know. I feel like YouTubers have to be salesmen in a certain degree, and it's not about selling products necessarily that I feel that way. You guys know I've been kind of learning more about the YouTube algorithm over the years, and I've come to realize that YouTube videos do very, very well for the most part if people watch the video all the way through, which is why I always kind of ask you guys, if you guys watch one of my videos, please watch it all the way through, because YouTube can see how much of the video is getting watched, and if it's getting watched a lot, like at 5 minutes of a video, you know, being watched on average, it will pump that video out quite a bit, because they want you to watch the video quite a bit. So, That's been the hardest thing for me, because I don't really make long videos. I make long tutorials, but long tutorials are usually being searched through the YouTube search or Google search. They're not being pushed in your face saying, hey, watch this tutorial. It's rarely that ever happens. Can you give a breakdown of your trading strategy? I've seen you done a few different videos. It really depends on what you're looking for. So what I typically do in a nutshell is I trade in the direction of momentum. So what's an easy way to show this to you? So this is not going to be the exact things. I'm not doing day trading on here, but you can see during here, Bitcoin has some positive momentum right now. Usually you'll start to see, this is a weekly chart, you'll start to see that momentum really go crazy right around here in this first week. So until I see the momentum really start to shift down, which probably would have happened right around here, and it kind of picked up again right over here. Again, this is a weekly chart during the days. During that really bullish momentum, I am usually only going long into that momentum, and I will usually wait for a pullback, and then I'll bounce back up. So the last few trades I've made over the past few days here are, I guess it kind of depends on how you want to look at it. When's the last trade? I can try to find a fair-dash trade. That way I can actually show you just like the time I bought and the time I sold. Copy trade. Because I haven't done any trades on Fairview in a little bit because I've been so busy helping out my mom and stuff. Let's see. Okay, so... Let me find a trade that worked out okay. Okay, so 5/11, 13/59. Let's see. Is that going to be the one? I can't even tell. Oh, 1957. Okay, never mind. I can't do it because what do you call it? I can't tell military time to my time. It's too weird of a difference to do for me, because I don't think this is actually like military time. Like it's not directly lined up with my time. I think it's lined up with universal time, which is going to confuse my brain even more. But basically, here. What's an easy way to show this? We haven't had that high there. That's too jumpy. Yeah, this is why I haven't been trading the last few days. Okay, right here is fine. So this is a 4-hour chart, and I'd be doing some day trading using a 5-minute and 15-minute chart usually. So you'll see that within this cycle we're having something like lower high. So high, a lower high, a lower high, a lower high, a lower high. We broke above that lower high right there. We also broke above like robustly. We found a bottom right here. We saw on the 4-hour chart the momentum crossover right there, which is a good sign. That momentum crossover happened right there. Okay. So from here I can see the momentum shifting right here. I know we're probably going to have a reversal back up. The oscillator on the bottom of your screen right here also showing some divergences. I don't know if you can see those green lines here. Some green lines at the bottom of the screen right there, right there. So I'm seeing a lot of divergence. I'm seeing momentum shift back to the upside. So I'm not buying it. More aggressive me will buy during this zone, but conservative me will not. I have my different strategies. But conservative me, you see, once we actually break above right here, right there, this is usually where you guys might see your own change of character. If you guys use Chart Prime or Lux Algo, any of the guys out there, right there, that's going to be your change of character. So if I went over here, I guess it'd be a little bit different for each one, but there's a Lux Algo one, Market Oracle, Smart Money Concepts. Okay, this is the bundle from Chart Prime. I can change this one up. So let me see, go over here very fast. Oh, I already have this on my thing. Okay, let me get out of this. Let me turn this on. If it'll let me. Did I mess this up somehow? Oh, I don't have it enabled. Okay. I need to change the sensitivity down to 5 or something. Let's see. There it goes. Okay. Now, of course, I had a drawing right on top of it. See that change of character right there? So once I see that on the 4-hour chart, and this is, let me just put a line right here. Now I'll hop onto the 15-minute chart and I'll have different layouts all here. So I have like 5 or 6 different screens kind of showing me all the same thing here. Now let me go back over here to that general zone. Okay. Now let me actually get rid of everything here. Okay. Once I see that start to happen, on the 50-minute chart, I'll be more likely to go into longs here every time I see something. So in this case, what's the best one for here? See how there was a breakdown right here? You don't take that breakdown because it's most likely a trap. Right there. Can't tell if that actually broke out. Oh no, it didn't, because the way I'm holding this, it's just kind of making it look like it did. Okay, so if that was a breakout, that'd been pretty nice. Although some people might have traded that breakout. But you can see the breakout happen right here. You buy right there, and you're more likely to hold on to it. Or even if you actually buy right here, you're more likely to hold on to it because with your stop loss, it'll probably be down here or towards the last big move down. It's more likely to continue going on to your way. So even if it doesn't work out in the first few minutes, by holding, you're usually going to be much better off. Now, I may trade with anything from 5x to 20x to 50x leverage. Most of the time, I'll be trading with 10 to 20x leverage. If I'm going to sleep or something, I have to have a stop loss and a target price on the charts here. And then afterwards, you pull out some of the basics that we talk about quite a bit. So in this circumstance, what would be the best one to be looking at? Okay. So, this is going to be annoying. Okay, so let's X out this. I know it's going to be a little confusing. Okay, so that's 2 for this one. For me, I think I'd probably go here, but I don't know if this would be the best one for it. Because you could either this one or this one. Okay, I'd probably do something like this personally. But I know other people would probably go for that high point because technically it was the high points before the breakout. We'll go over both. But basically, you're looking for the 1 zone or you're looking for any zone in here. So for instance, this may look like a lot of movement. So if I go from here, from the breakout point up to this level, that's 1%. With Bitcoin, that's 10% with 10x leverage or 5% with 5x leverage. You know, when you get up here, that's like, 2%, I guess is in this zone. It's not really moving a lot, which is why you kind of have to use leverage in the first place. Now, you're hoping for that 2% or that 1% of the 2%. But that stop loss was down here. That was at 1%. So hopefully you'd be looking for at least 2% there. So you have at least a 2-to-1 margin, or 2-to-1 ratio. Some people like to have 3-to-1 ratios and stuff like that. I'm usually fine with 2-to-1 at least, just because I'm trading in this way into the momentum that I'm usually more confident the trade is going to work out if I just hold on long enough. But if the stop loss is hit, I lose money. I don't care. I have money to make another trade, right? You don't want to become a bag holder here. In this case, it ran up all the way past here to past the 1. It didn't come up here to the 30,420 level. And then that's where it comes into play that you may be looking at another type of Fibonacci level. So if I come over here, maybe somebody might have gone this one right there to me. That one didn't come, but this one wasn't as accurate at all. But people might use that one. It's kind of all depends on what you're looking for. There's the low right there. No, I guess the low point was right here. Might go for this one right there. Yeah, that kind of matches up with that vibe, doesn't it? So maybe going from that, I don't know if you guys see that little bottom right there. I know I wish it was a little bit larger, guys, but maybe from there to there, that might have been a better one. But I do trades like that. So I trade into the momentum, and then if you see there's a big drop like this right here, go back over to the 4-hour chart and where were we at? Was right over here? No, May 9th. No. Okay. Big drops like this. This is where you have stop losses just in case. You're not gonna, like, if you see some amazing short opportunity and you take it, by all means go for it. I will not be taking those because those are still going against the momentum. I just can't do it in my strategy. So I lose out on opportunities like this. However, there was a crossover right here. You saw some nastiness right there. And by nastiness, I just mean you see the death cross. That's not anything bad, I would say. You had a little bit of a pop right here. You don't trade that pop because it's going against the momentum. you find an opportunity to short it down, whether it be a change of character, anything you guys are looking for, and then you trade it back down. And then of course, I guess in this scenario here, you can do it 2 different ways. Where's my cheat sheet? Oh, right here. Okay. Could be looking for something to break down. Maybe, oh, this is here, I guess, here, then, and then come all the way back down. Something like that, stair steps, but you know, you have any opportunity there. Or what you can be looking for, I guess, is maybe going over to maybe the 1 hour chart. This is the one we're looking for right here. This is that drastic move, I think. No, the drastic move, I guess, was over here. Something more, yeah, because the momentum shifted over here. Okay, so this is a 1 hour chart. Something like this. You're looking for the 1 right there, or down here, or it doesn't come all the way back down there, but yeah. So normally I just trade the momentum. Now there's a lot more to it, but usually it's you find the momentum, which way we're going. Usually you can do that with a MACD, which is very simple. You can have third-party tools like chart primes, oscillators. You can use Chart Prime, Lux Algo. They all have their tools. They all have free tools online as well. So you don't have to pay for their tools if you don't want to. Go test them out. They're all on TradingView. And you can see all the divergence is happening right here. With all that, you can kind of have a better idea after you practice and how to use them. But once you kind of figure out where the momentum is going, then you could make trades that go into that direction. So if the momentum is going up on a daily chart and a 4 hour chart, your day trades, your 15 minutes and your hour trades are, you know, time frame trades. Those are going to be going in the direction of the momentum. That's how I like to trade. Now, you don't have to use something like the MACD. There's also, I don't know, stochastic RSIs. I mean, there's stochastics and stochastic RSIs. Oscillators are usually the best way to determine it. So this is a 1 hour. We got to go back over here to the 4 hour. So, okay. So this is a 4 hour chart here, and I'm trying to make it as large as possible so you can see. So the crossover was happening right here. You would think it's right there, but remember, it's always like a lag of a candle. So in reality, the crossover was confirmed right here. That means this was confirmed actually on this candle closing. So for this next 4 hours, you could have traded downward knowing that the most likely if there was a breakdown that looked suitable to you, like a pattern breakdown, a double top, whatever, you'd be more likely to take that type of, play that type of pattern. So if we go over here very fast, let's go maybe to the 5 minute chart. I'm just guessing right now because I didn't do these trades. I've been busy. Okay, so in this little zone right here, this second zone, okay. What's the best way to do this? Would it be a breakdown right here? You can see it kind of went up for a little bit, but it eventually kept on following the momentum. Or I guess you could have done something like this. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different plays you could have done, but basically you have that breakdown. You're usually going to be more confident. This is a 5 minute chart, by the way. More confident about playing the breakdown through and seeing it go to further and further and further and further. Some people might take the breakdown right here because it is breaking down below a support level there, or right here. If you can imagine, there's a low right here, there's another low right there. This could be their change of character, and then they play it. It might go back up a little bit, but usually people when they panic, they sell right here after buying right there, or they short right here, then they sell it right there and they panic, and that's where that feeling is, where they understand the momentum. Their eyes can clearly see which way the trade is going. But it turns out that they freak out just a little too much, and I've totally been done this myself. But then when they see that big pop happening, they just sell and panic. But then that's where they, I as soon as I buy it goes down, or as soon as I sell it goes up. That feeling, it comes from not trusting their trading, not trusting themselves, and so they sell right here, then they see it come back down. They're like, it went back above that support level. Oh no, now it's all over. Stuff like that. They fear because they kind of see a smaller version of a change of character without looking at the larger one. So you can see right here, we had like a lower kind of area. We broke above that, so there's like there's a small change of character there, but there's a larger downward trend. So if they made that trade, they would have to be looking at a smaller scalping trade, right? So that means they're only in it for a few seconds or a few minutes. And so if you look at that, I don't know if I can now. I'm just getting too deep into the weeds here. Okay, so if they do that change of character right here, there was a few minutes where they could make profit. There was profit to be made, but the smaller the time frame, the less time you trade. So if I see that that change of character, or I see that downward momentum on a 4-hour chart or an hour daily chart, I can feel confident holding for hours, or half an hour, whatever. Since it's on the daily chart and the 4-hour chart, I feel more confident going in that direction for hours. But if I see a change of character on a 5-minute chart, why do I care so much about that unless I'm scalping? People don't put those two and two together, so they have issues. But that's kind of the generalist of how I trade crypto, at least. When it comes to stocks, you can use a little bit more volume in there, so like VWAPs and stuff like that. Often you can look at option flow data, so you can see where all this money's been moving as far as hedge funds are concerned. And if it's all out of the money expiration, it kind of expires really fast. A lot of times those bets usually work out because Wall Street usually has a lot of insider information. But yeah, I mean, that just kind of sums it up a little bit. There's other stuff that goes into it, I guess, but it's usually just understanding the momentum and then trusting the momentum to kind of guide you through. But then also understanding that when there's no momentum and nothing is really happening, you don't actually have to trade. That's where you might be looking more at scalping, or maybe you're looking at the momentum on a 1-hour or a 2-hour chart and maybe holding a position for a half an hour, maybe 15 minutes. Sometimes people just trade the smallest of breakouts. I trade the smallest of breakouts sometimes, and it's a decent low profit. But you just, don't trade when you don't have to. Trade when the momentum is on your side, and then just be very careful when the news events are happening. When news events are happening, it can really mess up anything. Because like right here, we bounced off the 200, but what was happening during this time? We were having a freaking banking crisis. Do you guys want to, actually we talked about buying this, but that was aggressive me, not conservative me. But yeah, you can buy right here if you wanted to, aggressive buy. But my main point was at the time is like, we just had to change a character right here. That would signal a nicer longer move on the downside. But this was during a crisis and it can really freak people out. Same thing with FTX. We had fallen down here, new low. This was technically a change of character right down here. But what happened? It was an FTX crisis. It was artificial. Does that make sense? I don't know if artificial is the best word for it, but it wasn't necessarily what you're looking for in an organic market. Aren't you worried moving averages lag? Yeah, I mean, when it comes to moving averages, yeah, but you can actually see it ahead of time, or when you're looking at some of these oscillators like MACDs and stuff, of course they lag. But once you have that confirmation, it helps me out a lot, especially if you like Bitcoin. Bitcoin works very, very, very well on the 4-hour chart for the 200, the 50, and the 20. A lot of people, once you start moving down to the 15-minute chart or the hourly chart and stuff like that, they might be using other stuff like 7 and 21 moving averages or 8 and 21 moving averages. Something that I would tell you guys to do if you guys have a free account of ChatGPT, or if you guys have a paid account, you can always go to Google and search some of this stuff up. But, I have learned that, ChatGPT can be very helpful when it comes to this type of stuff. So like, I don't want as much lag on my moving when I trade. Let me make that right. Okay. I use simple MAs. Can you give me 4 combos of moving averages for day trading Bitcoin? Or for me, I would probably say Ethereum. And it'll give you a little bit of a spiel of a talk and stuff like that. So 5 and 10 day SMAs, right? So that has a little bit less lag than the 20 and the 50 and stuff like that. You could also say, I don't want to look about simple moving averages. Maybe I want to look at exponential or double exponential or triple exponential moving averages, and it'll tell you everything. And you see 7 and 14 day. Now, I didn't give it a time frame, so maybe I said day, so I think I meant day time frame. That was probably my mistake, just not coding it right to it. But what about using a 1-hour chart? Right. 5 and 10 hour. I think that's probably the same as this one. It might just copy itself. 10 and 20. No, it's actually different now. So 10 and 20, 20 and 50, 50 and 100, and it gives you 4 right there. And you could try all these out and see which one works best for you. I do these a lot in my some of my tutorials for you guys. I use the numbers and I'll put them on the side, kind of like a little layover will kind of pop on the screen. It'll show you all these numbers and all these different time frames. You can do it like that. You know, and maybe say, what about triple expo? Oh, I'm just butchering this right now. Don't ignore my horrible typing abilities right now. Moving averages. Okay. See, the triple exponential moving average's aim is to eliminate inherent lag associated with all trend following indicators by applying a triple exponential smoothing. This means that the TMA gives more weight to the recent prices to be more responsive to the price change. Now, I've told you guys about this tons of times. We don't look at it all the time, but I literally have a layout on TradingView that has simple moving averages, exponential moving averages, the double exponential moving averages, and the TMA is the triple exponential moving averages. So this is the 8, 13, and 21, 9, 8, and 27, 10, 20, and 30, 12, 24, and 36. So what we could do very fast is just go over here to Bitcoin, go over to the 1 hour chart. Let's go over here. Let's get rid of this. Let's go over here to indicators. Let's just type in TMA, triple EMA. Let's do 1, 2, 3. All right, so I'm going to turn this into the green one because it's going to be the least value here. Let's make it thick. We're going to have this be set to 8. And this is the first one we're going with. The next one is blue already, so we don't have to change anything there besides the size of it. And then we have 13. Then we got the yellow one over here, and this one's going to be 21. And we got it being as thick as possible. All right. And then you could try to see how these crossovers work out. So you can see the crossovers worked out right there, but the 20 and the 50, you could have bought once it was confirmed, which was, I guess, is over here. So you'd be buying over here on the hourly chart, having that confirmation. Then maybe on the 50-minute chart, you can be much more aggressive on how you want to do it. So you can buy off the hourly chart or basically trade the momentum of what you're seeing on the hourly chart. Because all you're seeing with these is just the direction of the momentum going with a little bit of a lag going on it. But right here, you saw we had the 50 crossover there, the 20. We've slowed down just a little bit. So maybe if you've started to short over here on this first breakdown, maybe you know, hey, I'm done. I took my chance. Some people like to do it like that, especially if you're going to the daily charts and stuff who trade like, you know, multi-thousand point down days. But maybe this just looks too freaking annoying to you because it's so close together. So from then, maybe you're looking at something that have the 8, 13, 21. Maybe you're looking at the 12, 24, 36. So we go over here. 12. 24, and then the 36. All right, and so right here, you can see those crossovers confirmed right here. So you're not making it as much time, but it's still, you know, you wait for that consolidation period within the hour, then you play that next big pump. Over here, you had the 20 breaking down right there, confirmed right there. It went down just a little bit, but you didn't have that 50 to 200. Usually those smaller ones aren't going to be as reliable, but you learn that through backtesting. Right here though, look at that, confirmed right where are we at? Right here. Okay, confirmed. You wait for that next pullback and you take the trade and you make some money down here. Again, you wait for it. We just had the 200 pop right here. Now this is kind of interesting because, I mean, we did technically go up, but this was such a crazy move. So there was money to be made there, but you can see within the hour, we had the most massive swings. So this might not have actually worked out so much. But usually, you're not going to be using these so much when everything is going more sideways. You're using them in more volatile times because you're looking to trade volatility. But, you know, sometimes you just want to make the bet because you don't know what's happening with volatile. But if you put the MACD on top of this, oh, this is the oscillator. There you go. You see the MACD right here, crossover confirmed right there, matching up, so you're a little bit more optimistic. Back over here, you see the MACD crossing over just a little bit, but before this one crossed over, you kind of have those multiple indicators saying, whoa, something bad could be about to happen. Maybe if you trade that next breakdown, you could be more likely to make some money on this trade. And you can see once we had that confirmation from here, or here, you also have that change of character breaking down from here, and so that could be another opportunity to actually make the trade. So people like me will buy or short right here, it may go back above and then it'll make our money back for us. But some people, and I think more people that maybe have more time to trade, they end up waiting for the pullback right here and then taking the strike. Both are very valid methods. I would encourage you, because you guys are still in the loading process, to try to wait for the pullback before making the move. I am okay with this, but this does bring butterflies to the stomach as you kind of wait for hours and hours and hours for it to actually make that big move. All right, so this is something that I kind of messed up when I was learning, because at a certain point I was just like, well, who cares? It goes down eventually. I'm fine with that. Not everybody doesn't like that. Like, my stop loss for opening a trade right here is way up here. All right, that kind of goes back to that 2-to-1 ratio that I'm looking for right there. Or in this circumstance, you're really going a longer term here to kind of, you're finishing off the part of a trade. So you're looking at that, right? You're looking for this, right? If you're making the trade, where are we at right here? You're looking for this zone to hit, or this zone to hit, or this zone to hit right here. You can have scale outs, scale ins, whatever. But that's why people like to go right here, because it's much, how do I say this? That 2-to-1 ratio is much more likely, the 3-to-1 ratio is much easier to happen up here than if you open it up right here. For instance, from here to this, I wouldn't sell at the bottom. I would not know where the bottom is. I'd sell right here. That's 0.65. 10x leverage, 6.5%. You try to time it up here, maybe at the Fibonacci level or whatever. Let's just not even go to the very top, because who gets that? Then you're looking at 0.84. So that's, 8.5%. The extra 2% matters. But yeah, hopefully that kind of gives you an understanding. But I'm gonna get rid of these temas now. But there are reasons for them, and sometimes it's okay just to go over here and ask ChatGPT, hey, I want to know this. Hey, I want to know this. Can you let me know? But it's up to you to back test all of them, and it's up to you to try them and paper trade with them before you even put your money into trusting these. Now, I've used the 12, 24, 36 before. I think the most common one probably is this. Because people like to, when you're using a team, you really want it as little lag as possible. So people like to, the aggressive traders like to jump into that one. And most of my friends that I know that use these are aggressive traders. They're the type of people that can like win $20,000 an hour, but then lose $50,000 the next hour, then make another $100,000. So they finish off like $20,000 up for the day. They don't trade for the rest of the month, and they're like, oh yeah, that was a busy day. And I'm like, cool, but like my heart can't handle such a thing. But you guys get it, right? So hopefully that kind of just opened up a little bit of door of how I like to trade. It's usually trusting the longer term momentum to kind of guide some of my shorter term trades. That's the best way I've seen to trade crypto. The stock market, you can do a lot of similar things, but the stock market can be kind of iffy when it comes to options and stuff, because you're not trading with leverage necessarily in crypto. You're trading with leverage. Are you trading with options? That sounded weird. You're not trading with leverage in stock market. You're trading usually options, and options have thetas and Greeks, so to speak, that kind of control the price of the option. And so it adds a whole nother level of complexity that makes it just a tad a little bit more difficult than trading cryptocurrencies. And hey, Jim Bob, happy to see you back, my man. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, definitely buying a little bit of Bitcoin here and there. It seems to be doing pretty well. Dollar cost averaging is definitely the best way to go with this. You must trust the force. What do you call trusting the force is usually a pretty fun thing to do. I almost bought a shirt at that store, but it was like 30 something bucks for a t-shirt, and I was just like, there's no way I can pay for that. Yeah, I paid 55 bucks for a pink shirt with palm trees on it. I figured out I'm a swing level value trader, part-time scalper, and dividend collector, so I just stick to that. I'm bad at everything else. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think a dividend guy is something very, very good as well. Like, one of the things that I put my money into, it's called Marcus by Goldman Sachs. I think I was just talking to my friend about it yesterday. I think the Apple has a version of this too. Marcus is an app by Goldman Sachs that has a high APR savings account attached to it. So just like how you have like 5% or 4% interest on your USTD or USDC, you can put your money in there for like 4.5%, or I think right now it's like 4.75%. You can park your money in there, and I trust that more than crypto right now, because I'm always afraid stablecoin may go down or an exchange may go down, something like that, right? So I park some money in there, and I'm using it to buy a house right down the road. But you can also open an investment account with them, and it'll do an automatic allocation into an investment account that buys. I think it's only Goldman Sachs ETFs, but you can have the allocation be into stocks, dividends, stuff like that. So I have my ETF, I think, at 100% stocks, like zero bonds. And I'm going to buy dollar cost average into it a little bit, but it's not so much house stuff. It's just kind of testing it out. Because I'm afraid the market's going to go down. Why would I buy at these high levels? But dividends are a great thing, especially if you can get them through ETFs or just trusted stocks like Apple, stuff like that. And hey, Jim Bob, I do what the charts tell me. That's usually the best way to do it. But I'm going to call it a night, everybody. It's been a cool hour and a half talking with you guys. My sister came over here because I'm going to go help her set up her air conditioner. So I'll let you know how that goes. But what do you call it? That's how I trade. You guys don't have to trade like that. I think momentum trading is something that everybody can learn because your eyes can kind of tell you what's going on. But as traders, a lot of times we overthink things, and I think that can really mess up our strategies. But there is a reason why we buy high and sell low sometimes, and it's partly because we just don't understand how momentum works. And maybe I can do some more videos like that for you guys and such. But hope you guys all had a good night. I'm gonna drink some wine, open a cigar, and eat some steak tonight. And then, I also gotta help my sister with her air conditioner. But it's gonna be a good night. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. And I am gonna be streaming for you guys a little bit later tomorrow. I'm thinking probably around 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. And we're just gonna be chatting, having a good time, and maybe talking cigars and stuff. I will probably go buy some more cigars tomorrow. Oh no, I have a haircut tomorrow, but that's at 2 o'clock, so I should be good for the rest of the night. Thanks, everybody.